So, Joshua chapter 9 is about a tribe or city in Canaan that is thinking kind of smarter than the other tribes of a way to get around the losing their land bit of the conquest. So what do? They just, well, come up with a ruse. They went as a delegation of donkeys were loaded with worn out sacks and old wineskins, cracked and mended. The men put on worn patches and sandals on their feet and wore old clothes. All the bread of their food supply was dry and moldy. Like, okay, I'll find like the oldest bread, find our oldest, most worn down clothes. Find some old sandals. Basically, let's go through a trash dump and put on that stuff. To make it look like they've been traveling for years and years, or a long time, when they've been really probably only a day and not much longer. Okay, but probably exactly a day. Anyway, so they come and look. Hey, make a treaty. And the Israelites first are like, how do we know you don't live near us? And don't you see the old stuff we have? Look, our clothes, they're full of holes. Clearly we didn't have time to change them. Look how moldy our bread is. I think it touches like, yeah, there it goes. Okay, look at these jars. Like, yeah, I remember one day I dropped this jar and it was, but the jar I always used since I was a child, so I put it back together. All these made up lies that you can imagine. So Josh was like, okay, who are you? Your servants have come from a very distant country because of the fame of the Lord your God, for we have heard reports of him, all he did in Egypt, that he did in Egypt, and all the other stuff he did, basically. So basically, yeah, we heard it. Yeah, so they like point out how dry and moldy it is. This bread of ours was warm when we packed it at home on the day we left to come to you. But now, see how dry and moldy it is. No, it wasn't. Lie. These wineskins that we have filled were new, but see how cracked they are. And our clothes and sandals are worn out by a long journey. Yeah. All lies. Yes, lies recorded in the Bible. Some people are confused by that concept, apparently, thinking if the Bible actually records some people lying, that means the Bible is false. No, that's the Bible recording what people said. Not the Bible being wrong. Especially if the Bible tells you that they're lies. The men of Israel supplied their provision, but did not inquire of the Lord. So they did not even ask God. They're just like, okay, we believe you. Yeah, but there's this far off vague land of somewhere. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, you somehow quit. Yeah, it makes sense that there might be some messengers coming from Egypt who traveled quicker than we did. But wow, it really traveled far. And very far, apparently. Enough to turn bread moldy. Never mind why you didn't just go get new bread at like a town or something during your journey. No. We can't be asking you questions. Clearly, you've been traveling for a long time. But all you brought was bread. No, no, or gifts for us? No, yeah, were there gifts? No. Nope, nothing about gifts. So it's not like, oh, we brought gifts. And wait, if you came from so far, why are you asking for a tree now? You, what are these? This don't attack me. I can't forget. I can't remember. Think what the name is. Non-aggression treaty. Just that, not like a trading treaty. So they just did. They're like, so they just went along with it, even though they probably could ask a whole bunch of questions. And you're probably thinking a whole bunch of questions they asked, could have asked, but didn't. So yes, the Bible does have the Israelites and Joshua falling for one of the most obvious tricks in the book. If it was all just made up nonsense, why have that? Why have the Israelites look like complete another moron? Maybe them not listening to Joshua. No, have Joshua too. All the Israelites just go along with it. They're like, okay, sure. Yep. 3 days after they made the treaty with the Gibeonites, the Israelites heard that they were neighbors living near them. Can you imagine how this went? Can you imagine how this went? Where it's just like, okay, it's good. Send some scouts out ahead. Look at the land. And so the scouts are like walking through the land. They get to one town and like, wait, wasn't he? That guy looks familiar. Hey, have you seen that guy before? Yeah, I think I did. Was it? Did he make the treaty with? Wait a minute. I'm like, hi neighbors. I'm like, you tricked us. Yep. So, what happens? Does the big bloodthirsty God of the Old Testament tell them to genocide them all? No. Because that's never what happens in the Bible. But atheists just lack understanding because they barely read the Bible and have very little comprehension. They can't break the oath. They swore it by the Lord. Therefore, they can't break the oath. They can't. Even said, "You have given our oath by the Lord, the God of Israel. We cannot touch them now." No. Why? Because if they were doing it to break the oath, they would make God look bad in that culture. And that would be taking the Lord's name in vain. So, another reason why they can't break the oath. So, yeah. They can't break the oath. God says, do not make a treaty with any of the people living in Canaan. They made a treaty. God is like, okay, you made a treaty. You enforce the treaty now. You can't break the treaty. So, yeah, the Israelites just made their own decision and they even asked God. Even if God seemed a problem, I'm pretty sure they would just ignore him. They're like, yeah, whatever. You sign treaties with, like, yeah, we know. So, yeah, Joshua falls for sin. Again, he's not the perfect one. The one to crush the serpent's head. So, yeah. 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 So, yeah, they were not killed. Then, Joshua chapter 10 has the sun stand still. Inspiring Philosophy has a great video on this. About the sun standing still. So, and Zek, king of Jerusalem, heard that Joshua had taken Ai and totally destroyed it. Ai and its king had done to Ai and its king as he'd done to Jericho and its king. And the people of Gabon had made a treaty of peace with Israel and were living near them. It's like, oh great. Some of the people of the land are already allying themselves with Israel. They're getting friends. This is not a good thing in his mind. Because, of course, the natives of the land and know the land better than the invading force. The invading force already does a good job. How much more so when the invading force already knows the best places to hide, the best places to attack a city, the best places to get water, the best places for food, the best places to funnel your enemy into a ravine. Yeah. Yes. So they attacked Gabon. So Gabon's like, do not abandon your servants. Come quickly to save us. So Joshua's like, fine. And so he does. Do not be afraid of them. I have given. So God says to Joshua, do not be afraid of them. I have given them into your hands. Not one of them will be able to withstand you. So is it like, oh, just let them take out the Gibeonites? You can't do it. No. Israel made the promise. They have to protect them. Yep. So Joshua marched up and went after an all-night march from Gala. Joshua took them by surprise. So this is like early in the morning. When that happened, we defeated them in a great victory at Gabon. Israel pursued them along the road, going to Beth Haran, cut them down in the way, all the way to Ezra and Mecca. as they fled before Israel, down the road down from Beth Haran to Exek, the Lord hurled large hailstones down on them from the sky. More of them died from the hailstones than were killed by the sword of Israel. So, yes, on the day the Lord gave the Amorites over to Israel, Joshua said to the Lord in the presence of Israel, and this is where the sun comes standing still. O sun, stand still over Gabon. O moon, so the moon is visible. This is some things people don't usually mention, but it is. Over the valley of Abajan, so the sun stood still, and the moon stopped, till the nations avenged itself on its enemies. Okay. That's written in the book of Joshua. What's the book of Joshua? No idea. No idea. So there's several theories. There's the omen theory, where this is just an omen, and that's just the type of language people used back then to describe it. There's it just appeared the sun stood still for Joshua in this area. The sun just continued down its regular path. Everywhere else, it's not like someone in Native America was. Wait a minute. The moon has moved in several hours. Why? Why hasn't it? Or someone in China. The sun's not supposed to do that. So that if it's just, if the light of the sun didn't go away for them, which, yeah, would fit, because of course they wouldn't know back then all this college astronomy stuff about the sun being this big ball of fire and the earth spinning at thousands of miles per hour. Then there's the theory that God actually did stop the entire earth from spinning. Not very likely, but if he wanted to, he could without any ramifications. I kind of like the theory where it's just for the Israelites and the rest of the world is fine. It's just this local event, and the rest of the world's just regular day. And then there's probably the least likely theory. Yes, less likely than the Earth stopped spinning. Why? Simple. Because it is completely impossible. Saying it was an eclipse. Saying people noticed there was an eclipse in Spain around that time. Yeah, an eclipse in Spain. Okay, well, why did that make... Because it happened at sunset in Spain. If the sun's setting in Spain, guess what it already did in Israel? It's already long gone. It's nighttime. Joshua's telling the sun to stand still, and everyone else is wondering, what sun? The sun's gone, man. What are you talking about? Yeah. Yeah, what? No, that's not what happened. That is not what happened. No. Oh yeah, and also, in case you're wondering, yes, some flat earthers use this as a argument for flat Earth. I'm not kidding. They say because the sun stood still, Earth couldn't have stopped spinning, even though, like I said, it could have just been like an illusion. I don't know if illusion is the right word, but something just happening there where the light in the sky was kept on for a little longer. Or this happened so fast that they didn't even notice. But yes, flat earthers, if God wanted to stop the earth from spinning and not have everything flown eastward at thousands of miles per hour that wasn't, well, part of the earth, he could do that easily. He's the all-powerful king of creation. He can do that. And it wouldn't be even that hard. So, yes. So, the kings flee, hold them, put them in a cave. They rolled large rocks on the mouth of the cave to keep them in there. Then they destroyed them completely, almost to a man, but a few fled who were left reached their fortified cities, which are military bases mostly. Then Joshua took in camp at Mecca, and no one uttered a word against Israel. All of them are like, oh, you can't defeated 5 kings. Yeah. So they opened the cave, brought the 5 kings after a while, then killed them by hanging, gave them an order to take them down because no one should be on a tree for that long. And then threw them into the cave, and they covered the mouth of the cave with large rocks. They also took another city. So yeah, the conquest. A bunch of cities in the south. And that is Joshua chapters 9 and 10. See you next time for more Joshua.